Brother Lukman. What about the sisters? What do they typically wear on the Eid day? And talk about the prayer. What time? Earlier we heard that the prayers will vary from being very early as 5:30 a.m., some as late as 9 a.m. What about in Indonesia? And what about the clothing that the brothers and sisters wear?
First of all, I would like to say for all of you, happy Eid, Eid and Said.
Thank you.
And if we are going to talk about player, but actually I would like to talk about the term of Idul Fitri in our country, because it seems very different if we compare with another country. In our country, we say Idul Fitri Lebaran, and Lebaran actually is sort of acculturation between Javanese tradition and Islamic tradition. For instance, I'm from Java. Java sort of name of the tribe, the big tribe in our country. When Islam came to our country, we already have the tradition, but we accept Islam. So we have sort of special tradition. It's sort of acculturation between Javanese tradition and Islamic tradition. So we say Lebaran. Lebaran simply means, finish.
I will finish.
Finish. It means that when we are going to celebrate it, it means that we already finished the fasting in the month of Ramadan. So it is time that we can rejoice, we can be happy, we can be celebrating this Eid before we has been trained in the holy month of Ramadan after we finish doing fasting. So Lebaran is the term that we often use in our country instead of Idul Fitri. Although we understand also Arabic term Idul Fitri, but many people use two terms, whether it is Lebaran and also Idul Fitri. And by the way, I would like to say that actually Indonesia is considered the largest Muslim in the world.
That's right.
We are number one compared to
more than 250 million. Is that correct?
Yes, 250 million. So we are
Muslims.
Yes, yes, of course. We are number one after the inspiration of Pakistan from India. We became the number one. So Indonesia is considered the largest Islamic country in the world.
In the world, yeah.
So if we are going to talk about the player, because as we just discussed about the Islamic school in the first segment, so actually South Asian people, South Asian Muslim, we follow the school of Shafi'i. So Shafi'i school is the school that we follow. So if we are going to talk about the Eid player, we start performing Eid player in the early morning. It's for about 6 or 7 a.m.
Okay.
So we start Eid player, and then we came back to our home and we prepare some delicious food, and then we try to enjoy this food with all of members of the family.
I want to ask you, if I can, a question about the geography of Indonesia. I understand that it's comprised of 17,000 islands. Is that correct? And
yes.
Is all of that in one time zone, or are there multiple time zones in Indonesia?
No, actually time is divided into 2 times. Okay. There is what we call East Indonesia and West Indonesia, because I'm from Java, so my time is West Indonesia of time.
So does the majority of the country pray according to the time that Java observes, or where is the majority, on the east or west?
I think in the west.
In the west,
yes,
okay. So
yes.
this is on Java time.
Yes.
All right, and I want to ask you more about these delicious foods that you eat. But we'll go to Desh. But I do want to hear, Brother Luqman, tell us more about these foods that you talked about. You said after the prayer, you go back home to eat delicious food. What kinds of foods do you eat?
Talking about food is very beautiful. I got hungry. Actually, in Idul Fitri, we have a lot of kind of food that's going to be served. But I would like to talk about the ketupat, because ketupat has philosophical meaning to interpret, Idul Fitri to Indonesian people. Ketupat is sort of, it's rice, and then we put this rice in the coconut palms, just like that. But this food has philosophical meaning for Indonesian people. The philosophical meaning of this food is that the palms of coconut. It's mean that it's like the sin that we already commit during our life. And then the rice, you know that the color of rice is white. It's mean that sort of deliverance from error. So it means that when we finish our fasting, we will be pure. Sort of when you eat this food, it means that you go to your purity, and then you become pure, as the Prophet said.
Is this a Java tradition?
Yes, Java tradition. Because in the tradition of the Prophet ever said, Man soma Ramadana imanan wahtisaban ghufira lahu ma taqaddama min dhanbi. Whoever fasts in the month of Ramadan with iman and hoping the great reward from Allah, all his fast sin will be forgiven. So based on the tradition, it's sort of, Japanese people believe from this tradition, and then they try to elaborate this tradition based on their tradition.
I think this is a great example, brothers, of how Islam respects all of these things that we're hearing. It respects the culture of the people.
Yes, Islam is not contradicting to the culture.
Right.
For instance, I can be totally Muslim and I can be totally Japanese people. And all of our brothers, I think, agree with this statement.
Exactly. Coming from the United States, with Native American ancestors and African ancestors, the experience by church missionaries was a bit different. You know, the existing culture, language, name, all of the experience, there was a complete lack of regard and respect for culture. And so this is a great aspect in Islam, to allow people to maintain their cultural, ethnic identity, and even keep it, to infuse it with the Islamic practice on the Eid celebration. Brother Luqman.
I think the interesting thing that I look at when I analyze, or when I try to look at our tradition in our country about the greeting. In our country, in Arab country, we used to greet to each other in the day of Eid, just only to say, Kulu am wa antum bi khair, every year you are in good condition, and so far and so on, or Eid Sa'id. But in our country, there is something different. We don't just say Idul Fitri, Happy Eid, but we have to say Mohon maaf lahir batin. It means that you should forgive me my sin. So there is sort of asking for forgiveness, and to let yourself to forgive others. This is something beautiful thing in our country. So we have a very similar message. Brother Abdu, please, if you have one more song, we'll end with your voice.
Every day we tell each other that this day will be the last, and tomorrow We all can go home free, and all this will finally end. Palestine, tomorrow will be free. Palestine, tomorrow will be free. No mother, no father to wipe away my tears. That's why I won't cry. I feel scared, but I won't show my fears. I keep my head high, deep in my heart. I'll never have any doubt that Palestine tomorrow will be free. I saw those rockets and bombs shining in the sky, like drops of rain in the sun's light, taking away everyone dear to my heart, destroying their dreams in a blink of an eye. What happened to our human rights? What happened to the sanctity of life and all those other lies? I know that I'm only a child, but is your conscience still alive? Oh, I will caress with my bare hands every precious grain of sand, every stone and every tree. 'Cause no matter what they do, they can never hurt you. 'Cause your soul will always be free.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Wonderful.
Yeah, very beautiful.
That's good.
And thank you for all your songs and for being
Thank you.
with us.
Thank you so much.
Happy Ramadan to you, and thank you for being with us. Brother
You're
Lukman
welcome.
Hakim of Indonesia.